As Fu sat in his swivel chair, his eyes were fixated on the screen, his hands clasped, his glasses glaring with reflected light as he thought about what he had to do. Madara had grown fairly interested in this world. Madara enjoyed watching Naruto struggle through these new powers. It gave him ideas of how to better use his own. But all things considered, Madara was surprised. "You're continuing this scenario?" he asked. Fu looked back curiously. "Yes, you expected me not to?" Madara shrugged. "Honestly, yes. It seems so often that you start things and never finish them unless you're overly interested, and I assume this one would fall by the wayside. After all, what more could be done here? It's slowly blending into the original line of events. No doubt Naruto, now afraid of his power, will seek to master it, and once he has, it'll be no different to him than those tailed beast forms. So let me ask you again, why are you bothering with continuing when you haven't even finished so many other projects for the same reason?" Fu honestly had no defense for himself. Consider it a symptom of his ADHD. He didn't very often finish what he started, and this experiment was looking to be one of them. Until, I had a bit of an epiphany. I don't want this story to be a mere retelling of another with a slight difference. I crave something dramatic. I'm merely awaiting the perfect time to drop it in. "What are you planning to do?" Madara asked, only for Fu to sit silently. "Let's just say that I want to push Naruto to his absolute limits. I want to know where his breaking point is, the place I can push him until he can't be pushed any further, and I think I know exactly how to do it." Madara stood silently for a second. "Well, are you going to tell me? Or am I to be left in suspense forever?" "Patience, Madara, patience. Naruto needs a little chance to grow first. But trust me, I have things set up for a spectacular finale, so just give it time. Now pull up a seat. Let's see what happens when Naruto reaches the absolute. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. A crackle and a pop. The flames roared as everyone slept peacefully by it. Everyone save for two, Kakashi and Naruto. The trip home was nearly over, and they had stopped for the night. Naruto wasn't feeling his best, a little nauseous and very weak. Despite being so close to the fire, the night had chilled the air, and now Naruto was cold. As he lay there, he began to look back on what he had done and said during his fight on the bridge, thinking about what he did to Haku, to Zabuza, and nearly to Kakashi. Naruto was filled with shame, his eyes wide as he realized that the angry mountain god he feared was inside of him had broken out. He felt like a monster. No, the devil. He felt like a true freak. As his eyes kept to the center of the flame, obscuring everything around it by a darkness darker than normal by comparison to the light scorching his retina. "You don't sleep with your eyes open, do you, Naruto?" a voice asked. Naruto turned his head to see Kakashi. "No, I was just thinking about earlier." "What about it?" Kakashi asked. Naruto didn't respond. Kakashi understood all he needed to, though. "If you mean what happened on the bridge, don't worry about it." "I can't believe what I did. What I said," Naruto said. "I wouldn't worry about it, Naruto. Whatever happened on the bridge wasn't you." "No, Kakashi, I'm afraid it is me. The me I've been hiding. The me I've suppressed and hidden within the prison cell at the back of my mind." Kakashi listened as Naruto explained it. "I like to pretend he isn't there, but he is. He whispers to me. Intrusive thoughts. I see something beautiful and smile, and the voice from behind says, I wonder how it would feel to destroy it. I see a happy family, and I grow appalled when the voice says, I wonder how they would react if someone killed one of them." Naruto almost began to cry about this. It was his secret embarrassment, the thoughts he couldn't control. "I don't want to be a monster," he said. "I don't want to have thoughts like those. They're evil, and I hate them." Kakashi looked up toward the stars and spoke. "You know what it sounds like? Sounds like you're sick in the head. Sick in the head with a little disease called being human." Naruto looked at Kakashi. "Huh?" Kakashi then spoke. "You know, I used to struggle with similar things. Sometimes I still do. Nobody truly understands what it is to be human. Our very basic core nature is to destroy, to do evil. That's the weakness of the flesh. We don't like to talk about it, but everyone has thoughts like this eventually. They're intrusive thoughts, and they exist at the back of everyone's head. But the thing to remember is to not focus on them, nor give in to them. There's a wise saying that I like. You cannot keep birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building a nest in your hair. This is a facet of that saying, Naruto. You can't control the evil thoughts that come to your mind because evil is what we all are deep down. That's why it's hard to avoid things that are bad. Every day is a struggle to be more than you are. All people have that voice, but the difference is some people entertain it and scratch its every itch. Then there are those who hear the voice, are repulsed by it, and refuse it. And nobody is perfect. Sometimes its seductive voice convinces us that it's not so bad, or that it'll all be worth it. Sometimes we say and do things that we're not proud of, but that doesn't have to define us, and regardless, we can still find forgiveness. You made a mistake, Naruto, letting out, what was it called? Your angry mountain god? Well, newsflash, Naruto, we've all got angry mountain gods. It's not a new struggle. It merely takes on a different shape for you. Don't let it eat at you. You made a mistake. Move forward and don't do it again. But I don't know if I can stop myself from doing it again. I try to hide it, but what if it does happen again? Naruto asked. Then it happens again. Fight it, stop it, and try not to ever let it happen again. And if it does, then seek forgiveness once more. It's all you can do, Naruto. All any of us can do. It's why the grace of God exists. Because without it, we would all get exactly what we deserve. Naruto looked back toward the fire. It crackled and hissed in the night. Do you think I can ever learn to control it? Naruto asked. Kakashi nodded. I think you can. All you have to do is try. Sometimes trying's the hardest thing. Indeed, but that's no excuse not to. So sleep, Naruto. Let go of the pains holding you here. There's a path forward from this. You just have to keep walking. Naruto offered a grunt of approval before closing his eyes and going to sleep. Their journey to the village was a long one, but they eventually got there. Kakashi let Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke go. I need to go brief the Hokage about what happened in the Land of Waves, and inform him that commerce will likely begin soon between us and them. You three, go rest. Kakashi left. Naruto turned around and began to walk off. His head hung low. All the while, Sasuke and Sakura watched on, a bit of concern in their hearts. Sakura reached out and touched Sasuke's arm to draw his attention. The two offered a nod to each other and then chased after Naruto. Where you going, Naruto? They asked. I don't know. Home, I guess, he said. Why don't we all go somewhere and blow off some steam? Want to go see a movie? Sakura asked. Naruto took a deep breath. I don't know if that's a good idea, he said. Oh, come on, Sasuke droned out. Let's just go see a cool movie, get something to eat. We need to relax. That mission was strenuous for all of us, and I think it's best not to dwell on it. Naruto listened to what Sasuke was saying and remembered what Kakashi had told him the night before. Alright, fine, we can do that. Kakashi entered the Hokage's office and began to explain everything to him. Once he had concluded the mission report, he began to speak again. Naruto lost control, he said. Hiruzen looked at Kakashi. What do you mean? Well, his hair spiked up and changed color, and his strength grew proportionately to his cruelty. Hiruzen rubbed his face. What is he, Hiruzen? Kakashi asked. Hiruzen shook his head. We could never find out. We did everything possible to figure it out and sequenced his whole DNA set. All we got were inconclusive findings. There were genes from an unknown source, quite a bit that didn't match Minato or Kushina. We don't know where they came from. It's like he mutated. We have no explanation for why his energy reserves are like they are. Perhaps it has something to do with the Uzumaki clan, or perhaps one of his parents was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. We can only hypothesize, but whatever he is, it's quite dangerous. Kakashi nodded. It is, which is why I suggest he receives specialized training. Hiruzen looked at Kakashi with a bit of a skeptical look. I don't know if that's such a good idea. It could be risky. Kakashi nodded. Yeah, it could be risky, but if properly done, the issue could go away. Hiruzen thought about it. Kakashi spoke again. Assign your greatest teacher to Naruto. Considering that the village is about to host the Chunin exams, this is the perfect time to focus on Naruto's training. There should be no more missions outside the village for a while, and considering that all they'll do otherwise is litter patrol, I don't see how we don't do this. Hiruzen nodded. I'll think about it. For now, you are dismissed. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all went out for supper after the movie. As they ate, Sasuke's curiosity reached its peak. Sakura couldn't hold him back, nor did she want to, as she herself wondered as well. What was that anyway? Sasuke asked. Naruto looked up inquisitively. Huh? On the bridge. What was that thing you did? Sasuke asked. Some sort of chakra mode? Naruto seemed a bit uncomfortable thinking back on it. Sakura put her hand on Naruto's. You don't have to talk about it if it upsets you. No, I can talk about it, he said. He began to think. I honestly don't know what it was. I've been different for a long time, ever since I was born. The day I was born, I killed my parents. Sakura gasped and covered her mouth. Sasuke looking on beside her with apprehension. You killed your own parents? Sakura asked. Naruto looked away to hide his shame and pain. Sakura, seeing what this was doing to him, extended her hand out to touch his arm. You didn't know any better. You were so young, and you couldn't control yourself. I wish it were different, that I wasn't whatever I am. Sakura slowly stroked his arm. I know it hurts, and I know it's scary, but we'll get through this. Naruto stood from his seat abruptly. Pulling out his wallet, he tossed a few bucks down on the table and grabbed his coat. I think I'm gonna go home. Please, wait, Naruto. I didn't mean to bring up any bad memories. It's fine, Sakura, he said. I just think it's best I head out. Kinda tired anyway. Naruto turned back and began to leave the restaurant. We shouldn't have asked, Sasuke said. I just wanted to know. Naruto, standing outside in the night, looked up at the sky to see just the smallest hint of light glistening from the horizon. Hardly enough light to do more than a distant cityscape might. It likely wouldn't last longer than 10 more minutes. He began to head home. Getting into his house for the first time in a few days, his nose-blind nose finally detected the regular smell of the house, which brought some comfort. A scent-based message to say he was in his safe place. Tossing his coat down, he headed to the shower where he would stand below the steaming water and think. What am I? He asked. Why was I born like this? What is my purpose? As he laid down for bed, he stared up at the ceiling. Letting out a sigh, he closed his eyes. He couldn't stop seeing what he'd done to Haku. Hearing his cries, his voice begging Naruto not to ruin him. He heard the crack of a spine being severed, the sound of a neck being snapped. I hope nobody remembers you, was what Naruto said. But the irony of it was that Naruto could now never forget the cruel fate he had pushed upon Zabuza in demanding the man choose how his life was robbed from him. It wasn't fair. It wasn't kind. It was evil. This power was a dark one, and not one that he wished to have. The words of Kakashi rang through his head. All Naruto could do right now was try to forget about it. So, as he closed his eyes, he let out a sigh and went to sleep. For the duration of the night, he remained asleep, but the morning after, he was awakened early by the sound of a hand knocking at the door. Groggy and tired, he dragged himself out of bed and began to slowly walk towards it. Day had hardly broken, and someone was already knocking. Opening it up, he saw a man standing there, wearing an olive-colored kekogi with a burgundy haori. Naruto? The man's voice spoke, gruff yet playful. Who's asking? Naruto asked. My name is Jiraiya. I'm a war veteran and a bit of a writer, and I also specialize in teaching. I was specifically called in by the third Hokage to help you train with your unique power. My unique power, huh? Well, tell Hiruzen there's no need. I've decided not to be a shinobi anymore. Is that so? Jiraiya said. That's a shame. I was told all about your power, and I thought that if you could learn to control it and use it at will, you could save many lives. Sorry to hear those lives aren't worth the struggle. The man's statements were purposefully inflammatory to try and egg Naruto onto the idea of training. But Naruto wasn't so stupid or prideful as this elderly fellow seemed to believe, nor was he going to let himself get angry from such a basic attempt to rile him up. Now you listen up, you geriatric snow-headed bastard. Poor excuse for a porcupine. Okay, maybe he would let the man rile him up. I am not willing to risk the lives of everyone in the village just to rein in the devil and force him to do my bidding. And if you think it's a good idea to try, then it just proves what stage of dementia you're already at. Go seek help at the retirement home. Naruto slammed the door in the man's face. The man knocked on the door again. Naruto ignored him. Going through his daily routine, he quickly bathed, brushed his teeth, got his favorite orange jumpsuit on, and began to cook and eat breakfast. All the while, there was still a knock at the door. Upon putting the plate up, he began to grow deeply frustrated with the man. If there's anyone I wish to lose control on right now, it's this old fart. He walked to the door and opened it up. Quit it! You're gonna knock a hole in my door. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that annoying? Did it bring you close to snapping? Do you want me to snap? Naruto asked. No. I'm simply showing you, whether you're a shinobi or not, you're gonna be having the same issue you've had before. This strange transformation's a problem, and you're never gonna free yourself from the grip of its control until you take it by the horns and steer it. Hiding isn't enough. So long as this thing has control over your life, it'll look for an excuse to break free, and it won't take much for that. Is that what you really want? To live in fear your whole life, hoping nobody makes you mad? Or do you want to walk confidently, knowing that nothing anyone does or says to you can make you become what you fear? Naruto sighed. You're not gonna leave me alone until I agree to this, are you? Jiraiya shook his head. Hiruzen told me it was imperative to teach you how to use your powers, and so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now come on, let's get started. Naruto begrudgingly followed Jiraiya. He led Naruto out to the middle of nowhere, a place far enough from the village where Naruto might train. So, first things first, I need to see what kind of seal you have. It's an 8 trigrams with a 5-element secondary, Naruto said. Show it to me, Jiraiya said. I already told you what it was. Yeah, but I want to see it myself. Naruto sighed. Fine. He lifted his shirt to show Jiraiya. There, happy? Oh, is that Hiruzen I see coming? Hi, Hiruzen, Jiraiya shouted, waving his hand. Naruto looked back. Huh? In that moment, Jiraiya pressed his hand to the 5-element seal and broke it. Naruto, shocked by the sudden jolt of chakra, fell on his rear. What the hell? Are you crazy? You want everyone to die? Naruto shouted. Put it back on! Jiraiya shook his head. Nope, that seal is off, and it's staying off. There's no way for you to learn to control the power if you can't access it. The 8 trigrams is all you really need. It's designed to hold the power in place and keep it locked up until you decide you want it. The seal isn't a punishment for you, but a tool. A lock and key to which you always have the key. The 5 elements is designed to take that key away. I restored the key. Now you can attain the form anytime you want. You're crazy. You're gonna get yourself and everyone else killed, you know that? I don't know that. The only way we'll die is if you submit and let the power take control of you. But you're not gonna do that now, are ya? Naruto was silent. Put it back on, he said, trying to show his anger, though it was slipping. Jiraiya knelt down. I know you're scared of this power. You don't know what it's done, Naruto said. No, I do know what it did. It killed your father and my student, Minato. Naruto was surprised to hear that this man knew his father. Then you know what it can do, he said. I do, Jiraiya said, but I also know what you're capable of. I trust you, Naruto. How do you know I won't fail? Naruto asked. I don't. I choose to believe you'll succeed because I know you a lot better than you think. So trust me on this, okay? Naruto sat forward. I'll trust you. Jiraiya then began to speak. The name of the game is control. Attaining the form when you desire, turning it off when you desire, and keeping your head while you use it. To do this, it's important to control 3 things: your mind, your emotions, and your energy. The good news is that each of these can be practiced through meditation. Hone yourself with it, and when it's time to use that power, it'll be yours to command. And if ever your anger causes it to escape, you will be able to force it to shut down the moment you realize. How will you teach me these things? Naruto asked. The same way I learned Sage Mode. Now, be still. Let's begin. For quite some time, Jiraiya taught Naruto how to control everything from his mind, to his body, to his heart and his spirit. All the while, the Chunin exams were going on in the background. For a month, Naruto focused on these exercises, attempting to control his energy through the same methods used to awaken Sage Mode, being taught control over energy by forcing him to learn the Rasengan. With this power in hand, Naruto managed to learn to control a basic level of this form, what the viewer might call Super Saiyan C-type. It was by no means the height of Naruto's power, but it was a good start. Able to turn this on at any point without any mental exhaustion, Jiraiya told him that the best way to learn to control it better was to attempt to live in the form, to make his body used to the power spike, to make his mind used to the negative emotions that came with it, to simply treat it like his base form, eating in it, sleeping in it, exercising in it. Anything he did, he needed to do in this transformation to ensure that he was totally controlling it. This would also condition his mind to be able to process the power of the higher forms without forcing him to lose control. And as the time of their training finally began to draw to a close, Jiraiya told Naruto that what he needed to do now was simply enjoy his life while attempting to use the form. So for that reason, Naruto decided to go with Sakura and Sasuke to the Chunin exams exhibition finals. As Naruto decided to do this, Fu sat in his chair with a smile. Madara noticed the look on his face. What are you plotting? He asked. You'll see, Fu said. His hand, touching a lever, began to pull. There was a sound echoing through their multi-dimensional station. What did you do? Madara asked. Just a little pre-programmed scenario I wish to inject into our little story here. Don't worry your pretty little head over it. Just watch. As Naruto and the others stood there on the bleachers overlooking the stadium, Sakura spoke. Oh, Naruto, I love what you've done with your hair. It's so much spikier, and its blonde is even lighter. Did you have it bleached? Something like that, I guess, he said. And your eyes are so much bluer. Well, more green than anything, Naruto said with a chuckle. Well, all the same, you look pretty spiffy. Maybe after this I can take you out to get a new fit. A new hairstyle deserves a new look. Something to contrast, maybe something more black and white. Shh, Sasuke said as he was trying to watch the fight, popping some popcorn into his mouth. As they watched, Naruto was finally starting to feel happy, winding down from his emotional uptightness. There was nothing to fear, nothing to be afraid of now. He was now nearly in complete control, and he felt as though nothing could bring him down. That was until he felt a sharp pain in the back of his head. Ah, Naruto said as he sat forward. What is it? Sakura asked. Sasuke having turned his attention away from the match to see what Naruto was doing. Naruto shook his head. I just felt a strong energy, like I've never felt before, he said. It felt dangerous, malicious. Naruto stood from his seat, causing one of the villagers behind him to call out for him to move out of the way. Naruto looked around. He began to push past Sasuke and Sakura to search for this new energy signature. Sakura looked to Sasuke. We should follow him, she said. Sasuke let out a sigh. I better not miss the finals. I got money on that Neji kid, he said. Following Naruto, he led them through the stands and into the interior of the stadium. Where are you going? Sakura demanded to know. Can't you feel that energy? He asked them. Sakura and Sasuke shook their heads. What does it feel like? She asked. It feels like a heavy pressure, threatening to crush me. It feels like at any moment my body will burst under the weight of this energy. I gotta find its source, he said. As the three of them continued to explore, the feeling kept moving around. Whenever they would get to one location, it would have moved somewhere else. They kept following the energy signature, but never did find anything. It's here, I'm telling you, Naruto said. Naruto, maybe you've been stressing too hard. Maybe you just need some rest, Sakura said. No, I'm telling you, it's here, somewhere. You gotta believe me. Whether it's here or not doesn't matter, Sasuke said. What matters is that Neji and Gaara are gonna be fighting any moment now, and I wanna be there when it happens. Now, let's go. Sakura agreed with Sasuke. Come on, let's go, Naruto. It's probably not that important anyway, and even if it is, we can deal with it after the match. Naruto relented and followed them back to their seats. Sitting down, Sasuke offered Naruto some popcorn. Here, just take some and calm down. Everything's fine. Naruto took some of the salty snack and popped it in his mouth. It needed a lot more butter, but what did you expect from something a 2-ryo vendor sold? As they sat there, they saw the two genin enter the stadium, preparing to fight. This is what I've been waiting for, Sasuke said. Smart money's on the Byakugan boy, he said, pulling out his tickets. From the looks of it, Sasuke spent a small fortune in the hopes of capitalizing off his faith in his classmate. But before he could enjoy the fruits of his hope, something happened. A figure stepped out into the Colosseum. What's that? Sakura asked. Naruto looked down and saw a tall, muscular man standing there, long black hair with a neutral expression, his chest and stomach covered in what appeared to be burn scars. His clothes, though tattered and torn, bore a regal appearance. White pants and a red waistcloth. He was covered in gold like some king, some prince of ancient times, like some sort of god. Naruto's eyes widened as he looked at the figure. Him. He's the source of the energy I felt. You're insane, Madara said as he stood from his chair. Well, I thought that Naruto might have absolutely no issue facing even the strongest shinobi in his world with his powers, so I thought that the only thing he might struggle with is a bit of a family reunion, Fu snickered. For a moment, Gaara and Neji looked at this figure, trying to call out to him to get out of the arena, but he only drew closer. He seemed somewhat confused, but as Gaara's patience ran out, he turned his sand on the stranger, intending to kill him. However, before he could, the man locked eyes with Gaara and let out an emerald ki blast that passed straight through the sand, before smashing into Gaara and knocking him against the wall, leaving him unconscious. Neji saw this and turned to attack the individual, only to have the same done to him in return. Naruto stood and jumped over the side. Wait, Naruto! Sakura shouted. She jumped over the side of the stadium walls as well, followed by Sasuke. Naruto ran closer to the man, filled with a fire to stop him that only turned to cowardice as he drew closer. The man was towering over Naruto. Who are you? Naruto demanded to know. The figure looked down at Naruto out of the corner of his eyes. There was a curiosity within them, but slowly things began to click into place. You, the voice of the man said. I don't recall giving birth to a son. The energy Naruto was putting off from his Super Saiyan form was enough to give away his true nature to the figure, and there was no reason why it wouldn't. The true nature of Naruto spawned from this figure, from Broly. Who are you? He demanded to know. The man's head lowered as a nefarious smile began to form upon his face. Your destroyer. Suddenly, Broly began to power up, his hair spiking, turning gold just as Naruto's had, his eyes taking on a glowing teal color. The man stepped close to Naruto and in one swift motion, struck Naruto so hard in the stomach that Naruto was almost certain something had to have ruptured. He was sent flying through the air. Broly turned to look at Sakura and Sasuke with a smile. This was going to be fun. Naruto hit the side of the building and just stuck there for a moment. Hardly able to open his eyes, he fought and struggled to force his body to take a breath. Breaking free, he wasn't sure how he had survived, but he knew one thing. He needed to get back there fast. Naruto began to run in the direction of the stadium, his ki surging under him as he did. Subconsciously, he willed himself into the air. Landing in the stadium, he saw Sasuke and Sakura having been cast to the side quite easily. The man was nowhere to be seen. Well, not by the naked eye, but Naruto could feel his presence. He was tearing a hole through the back rooms of the Colosseum, facing waves upon waves of shinobi. Nobody stood a chance. Naruto knelt down to check Sakura. She was unconscious, but still breathing. Sasuke looked to Naruto. That man is a monster. We didn't stand a chance. In those back rooms, Broly stood there, his blonde hair flowing upwards as he stepped over the bodies of the Chunin and Jonin who dared stand against him. But the fight wasn't over yet. From the corridor to his right, Kakashi appeared, and from the left, Might Guy. I don't know who you are, Kakashi said, but whoever you are, you're not getting past this point. Broly began to laugh, his cackling low and deep, menacing and filled with a not-so-subtle insanity. And what makes you think you could stop me? Broly said. You are nothing more than tiny bugs compared to me. Kakashi's Sharingan visible, he stretched his fingers to get them ready. Looking to Guy, he knew they only had one chance at this. Kakashi came in with a Chidori, ready to put a hand through Broly's very heart, only to be redirected into a wall. Kakashi struggled to put his hand out as Broly approached. Might Guy, having activated his 7th Gate of Wonder, knew that this person's power was higher than any shinobi he had ever witnessed, and he knew that if he couldn't hit him with everything he had, he would stand no chance. Using his full strength, he punched Broly in the cheek with enough force to knock him back. It seemed that Guy was able to push Broly to some degree, but it simply wasn't enough. It was hardly enough to draw blood from Broly's mouth, something he licked clean with an evil smile. Kakashi, finally free, circled around Broly. Guy was the hammer, Kakashi was the nail. He just needed to know where to hit him. As Guy dodged under one of Broly's retaliations, he came back up and put a fist right into Broly's chin, knocking him back. While Broly was off balance, Kakashi slid in there and pressed his hand to Broly's stomach to try and institute the same type of seal that Naruto had, both an 8 trigrams and a 5 element. Pouring every ounce of chakra he had into the seal to the point he was near collapsing, he did manage to seal it. However, it only got Broly down to his restricted A-type transformation, which was still more than enough to whip Kakashi's butt. Broly put a leg into Kakashi that sent him flying into the wall. As Kakashi hit the wall, he passed out. It was now between Guy and Broly. With Broly's power low, he would be more manageable for Guy, who would put a knee into Broly's gut before pulling his hands together and sledgehammering him in the back of the head. Broly fell to his hands and knees before getting kicked into the wall. As Guy stood there looking at Broly, he heard something. It began as a breathy sound that grew into a chuckle before evolving into a loud, maniacal laugh. What do you find so funny? Guy asked. That you think I'm anywhere near a fraction of my power. In that moment, Broly began to power up, popping the seal. Straining more, it looked as though the very flesh of his body ripped and tore away to reveal a form even larger, somehow compressed to fit into the previously smaller form. This transformation saw Broly stand at nearly 10 feet. It was beyond human, larger than any man he had ever seen. Broly grabbed Guy and threw him through not just one wall, but 4 of them, leaving Guy's bruised body motionless on the ground in a bloody pool. Broly stepped through and knelt down over him. Lifting Guy up in his hands, he spoke. I wonder how much I have to squeeze before your eyes pop out of your head. Are you interested to see? Putting Guy into a bear hug, Broly merely began to flex, expanding his muscles until Guy started to scream. That was until Naruto stepped through the whole of the stadium. Hey! Broly looked back. Oh, have you come to watch, son? Let him go, Naruto shouted, his anger flaring. My pleasure. With a quick squeeze, he crushed Guy's ribs and dropped them to the ground like a spent toy. Naruto saw Guy's body and began to grow angrier and angrier. You'll pay for that, he shouted. Broly's smile faded as he spoke. Do not misunderstand. You may possess fragments of my power, but you have none of my true strength. If you wish to fight me, I welcome it, but know that I will get every ounce of enjoyment of ripping every strand of that undeserved gold hair from your scalp." Naruto, filled with rage at what he had witnessed, rocketed forward and smashed his fist into Broly's chest, knocking the beast back through a few buildings. As Naruto stood there, he looked through the rubble and smoke to see the figure of this angry mountain god standing unfazed by the attack. He laughed. "If that's all you can muster, then I have no use for this puny world any longer." Broly formed a ki blast in his hand that threatened to rupture the core of the planet, sentencing not only Konoha but every village, land, and person therein to death. Naruto could not let this happen. Running forward, he tried to knock it from Broly's hand, only for Broly to pull it back and smash it into Naruto's chest, sending him flying back through the stadium, landing in the far wall. His vesture destroyed, hardly conscious, he saw the big brute step back into the arena. The monster looked down at Sakura and lifted her up by her pink hair. "This one was with you in the beginning. Is she something important to you? Put her down." "Oh, so you do like this one, don't you, son? Well, I think I'm a little too young to become a grandfather, so consider yourself grounded." He gripped Sakura by the throat and began to squeeze. She could hardly resist. In a rage, Naruto stood. "Stop it! Or what? You'll kill me? Don't make me laugh," Broly said. Naruto, filled with wrath, ripped what remained of his shirt from his shoulders and began to power up further, past anything he had ever done before. Naruto began to erupt with energy until he too exploded spectacularly. As Broly watched on, he saw the figure of Naruto standing there, his body having taken on a far larger musculature. His hair glowed a neon green like toxic waste. His gaze was fixed upon Broly. Broly then spoke. "Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, but this is just insulting." He tossed Sakura to the side before speaking again. "Come at me if you think you have what it takes to kill me, son." With a wild war cry, Naruto launched from the ground and struck Broly square in the nose, sending the legendary warrior flying back. But Naruto wasn't finished. Flying faster than he had smashed Broly, he caught him from behind with a kick that sent Broly rocketing into the sky. Naruto soon blasted off after him. Getting to the peak of Broly's ascent, Naruto prepared a kick to send him crashing back down to the ground. But just as his leg was about to connect, he felt Broly catch it with his hand. Whipping Naruto around by the leg, Broly threw him down to the ground before firing down on him a volley of blasts that decimated an entire city block. As Naruto lay there, eyes closed, Broly spoke. "Oh, please don't tell me that was all you had. If you don't fight back, I'll destroy this entire world and move on to the next." Naruto's eyes opened as he stared up at Broly. Standing up, he blasted into the air, a warrior completely controlled by rage, striking at Broly again, and Broly let him. This was the closest thing to a challenge he'd seen since New Planet Vegeta collided with Comet Kamori. He was going to enjoy every moment of this. Being knocked deep into Hokage Rock, Broly laughed before digging his hands into the stone. Ripping the faces from the cliff wall, he began to throw them at Naruto, who smashed first the face of Hiruzen before also the face of Tobirama. As the dust settled from the section sculpture's destruction, Broly approached, his fist spiking Naruto into the ground. As Naruto lay there, he didn't move. Broly spoke. "Pathetic. An utter waste of my own flesh and blood." Forming a ki blast in his hand, he spoke again. "You do not deserve to carry my genes. I will erase you from the face of this world, and then punish the planet that dared give birth to you." As Naruto lay there, he couldn't help but hear the voice of others in his head. For a moment, he was sitting around the campfire again, listening to Kakashi's words. "Every day is a struggle to be more than you are. All people have that voice, but the difference is, some people entertain it and scratch its every itch. Then there are those who hear the voice, are repulsed by it, and refuse it. And nobody's perfect. Sometimes its seductive voice convinces us that it's not so bad, or that it'll all be worth it. Sometimes we say and do things we're not proud of, but that doesn't have to define us, and regardless, we can still find forgiveness. You made a mistake, Naruto, letting out, what was it called? Your angry mountain god? Well, newsflash, Naruto, we've all got angry mountain gods. It's not a new struggle. It merely takes on a different shape for you. Don't let it eat at you. You made a mistake. Move forward." And then the next moment, he was with Jiraiya. "The name of the game is control. Attaining the form when you desire, turning it off when you desire, and keeping your head when you do it. To do this, it's important to control these three things: your mind, your emotions, and your energy. The good news is that each of these can be practiced through meditation. Hone yourself with it, and then when it's time to use that power, it will be yours to command. It was here that Naruto understood what he needed to do. He needed to fully master this form if he had any hope of winning. He felt his anger boiling, and maybe that was a good thing. It gave him strength, but it robbed him of focus. He needed to refocus. He needed to not turn his anger into a club, but into a rapier, a pointed blade. That was the only way to overcome this fearsome foe's strength. Opening his eyes once more, Naruto's swollen muscles receded to what they had been in his previously mastered Super Saiyan state, hardly larger than they were in his base form. Rising up from the ashes, his hair glowed a paler color of green as his aura disappeared. His eyes open, he looked up at Broly, the teal-colored irises focusing on him. Naruto closed his eyes. Focus your energy to a single point. Naruto took his ki and chakra and mixed them both together, compressing them down into a single, powerful Rasengan. Broly saw this, felt it, and knew it was a danger. So he powered up even further, to his full power, his green hair taking on a golden hue, his buff frame somehow becoming even buffer. He threw his ki blast down at Naruto. The blast opened up into a massive orb, an Omega Blaster. As Naruto drew closer to it, he pushed his Rasengan into the sphere. Broly, from behind the blast, began to smile as he poured more and more ki into it, smashing it from behind with ki blasts to push it forward, even expanding its size. Naruto, however, was not yet finished. Powering up further and honing it down to a single point, his Rasengan, green in appearance, took on an even brighter shine. He felt a give in the outer shell of the Omega Blaster, and a moment later he pushed straight through the ki, absorbing it and forcing it into his compact Rasengan. Once on the other side, he pressed through Broly's final attacks and pressed the Rasengan into Broly's chest. The blast was so intense that Broly was eaten up by it, his body rupturing from the strength of it, and with one final scream of madness and agony, he detonated in the skies overhead, clearing the clouds, ending the battle for good. Naruto fell back to earth, landing on the ground. Looking up with a smile, he exclaimed his victory, and then passed out. Only later would he awake in the hospital to Sakura and Sasuke's presence. "You're awake. Is everyone okay?" Naruto asked. Sakura nodded. "Guy will make a full recovery, thanks to you." As the battle came to a close, Madara, who'd been standing, his eyes shining with excitement, beginning to slowly dull as his mind accepted these things into it and calmed down. Sitting back down in his seat, he spoke. "I can't believe he did it. How in the world did he manage to power up so much that he could do that to Broly?" "Naruto is a combat genius," Fu said. "He could never surpass what Broly had in ki reserves, but he controlled it down to a fine point. This isn't too far removed from the concept of how divine energy is formed. Naruto, for but a brief moment, knocked on a very divine door, and with that power, he managed to just barely overcome Broly. It certainly didn't help none that Broly had packed his own body with more ki than he could handle, so his detonation was as much himself as it was Naruto. What we witnessed was the concept of control versus the concept of berserk, and control came out on top, as always." A moment later, Fu turned off the monitor and stood. Madara looked over at Fu with confusion. "Wait, that's it? Don't you want to keep following Naruto?" he asked. Fu shook his head. "What's the point? At most, we'll just see the Ten Tails show up again. But with the current level of power Naruto has reached, what's the point in continuing? Naruto's gonna be on easy street for the rest of his life with that power. Nothing interesting will happen. But I was kind of looking forward to seeing what might happen next." Fu smiled and handed Madara the remote. "You're free to continue on experimenting without me. You have my blessing." Fu then turned around and walked out. Madara, with a smile, clicked a button on the remote, bringing the screen back to life. "What will you do now, Naruto?" And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. I love Dragon Ball, and I just couldn't help but make the final battle as flashy as Broly would make it. But sadly, this is where I and Fu plan to stop the story. But maybe it doesn't have to be. If you all really enjoyed it, then maybe, alongside Madara, we can continue this experiment. But if we're going to do this, I need to know that it will be watched, and that means I need this video to absolutely knock it out of the park. I need comments asking for more, and I need to see this video liked and shared. Make this video reach the same popularity as some of our other great stories, and maybe, just maybe, the series will continue. But it's all up to you. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, y'all. I mean, after all, if we do continue the story, you're gonna want to know about it, right? Anyway, check out these other videos as well. Maybe you'll like these too. Until next time though, peace out.